UFOs do not exist. JFK was killed by a lone assassin named Lee Harvey Oswald, who acted completely alone, had no ties to the CIA whatsoever. 9/11 was an outside job by Islamist extremists hell bent on destroying your freedom in the United States of America. There are no secrets, no conspiracies. These are all just theories, silly, crazy crap. Go back to sleep, ladies and gentlemen. The latest.
Idea who shot Shook.
If the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it?
Do you have any idea who?
Well, there's Cat Williams on the issues of today and all these celebrities that have come out with recent endorsements. What is going on in the internet now? Oh my God, it is insane. Have you guys seen the latest on this squirrel business? Let me show you the story here. Oops, not that one. I'm gonna present, and let's look into Peanut the squirrel. I didn't know about this, but lots of people keep squirrels as pets. Lots of people have Instagram accounts, and I guess this was a real famous Instagram account, a real famous squirrel, and he had a lot of followers. And some lady got jealous. Let me see, Peanut the squirrel. Who's the Karen from thousands of miles away? So these people were in New York State, right? They also had a pet raccoon named Fred, and this was Karen Prizelek. I think this is her name. No, I don't think her name is Karen Prizelek. That's not her name. They've changed it. Her name is definitely not Karen. Her name was Monica something. Go find the real, unless this is her real name, unless she really was a Karen. So find out the real name. Is it the Monica, or is it Karen? Guys, what's up, audience? And RIP Nut. I'm sorry, I was supposed to start a while ago, and then I got totally distracted with. I went downstairs and totally forgot, but I maybe got abducted by some aliens in the process, so I lost track of time about an hour or an hour and a half, and don't know what happened to it, but it's gone now, and we're here. And yes, they hit the nail on the head, buddy. Anyways, let's see. I'm glad everyone's here, everyone who's still here, everyone that just joined. What do you guys feel about this whole government, going and killing your pets? First it was the Haitians, eating the cats and the dogs, and now it is the government killing squirrels, killing your pet squirrels and killing your pet raccoons, euthanizing them because they bit me because I came to take them away from their loved ones, and I'm a stranger in their house, in their territory, and they're just defensive animals, just like they're highly intelligent too. But Peanut the squirrel apparently was the straw that broke the camel's back, because a lot of the internet is just erupting to this, and I've already seen all the memes that have been generated. I decided to generate a couple of my own. I've been taking advantage of the Grok. Grok has these excellent. So I don't know if you're on X. If you're not on X, then you're missing out on the whole revolution. This is the platform. It is so easy to share information and share stuff. So this is the woman. Oh, this is not Yeah, so Karen is the woman that actually went to the house for the government and killed the squirrel. This Nazi stormtrooper looking bitch. She's the one that actually, went there for the government, took the animals and put them to death, and claimed we don't know. I haven't seen proof that she got bitten by either of these animals. And then also squirrels really don't tend to carry rabies, especially if it was a home-owned pet. There's just no reason that the whole excuse that they had to kill to test for rabies because it bit the officer is complete bullshit. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's a lie. There's no way. It doesn't make sense. This evil hag responsible for the Peanut the squirrel's death is Monica Kiesler. Yeah, this is the woman, Monica. She's the actual one that called and reported, and she was just jealous that the squirrel had more followers than her. She's since deleted all of her social media accounts, which is probably a good idea. Anyways, yeah, that lady is definitely stupid and mean. And yeah, the squirrel has now become the new, we're definitely living under, borderline Nazi regime. We have Kamala Harris, talking about regulating free speech and Elon Musk, right? Kamala Harris on free speech. They want to kill this Constitution, people, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a fight for America here. We know that Trump has already been president. He won't do this. We saw the changes that have happened over.
Understand their power. There has
They're scared as hell of this platform and what is going on with the truth and the waking up that's going on.
There has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation.
You dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch. Tell me you never read the U.S. Constitution or Bill of Rights without telling me.
Yeah, so the First Amendment of the Constitution is the freedom of speech. So they want to take the freedom of speech, and they also want to come and grab our guns. John, I heard the people eating people's pet story was debunked. Do you believe that's true? No, I do not. I know that there are some Haitian rituals with voodoo where they use animal sacrifice and other weird things and they do eat animals. But I do not know that this was happening in Ohio with Haitian immigrants. I think that was made up. I didn't see any evidence for that. And that guy also went out and did that excellent report of are they eating the pets? I don't know if you saw that one. Are they eating the cats and dogs? He went out and interviewed people that were reporting on that and saying that was happening. This was the video of this one woman that had this weird accident. I don't know what she was doing, but she had a cat eating it. And I don't know if she was on, bath salts or doing whatever, but that was the report that kind of started it all. And, there are videos of people, abusing animals and other stuff. I don't know why this stuff comes up, but, yep, cats and other animals are eaten by illegals. So this guy, he looks kind of like Jesse Michaels. But this guy he did a great report. He also did some good reporting on 9/11 for the news, reporting into the 9/11 story, which was excellent. So this guy's a great reporter. He went out there on the ground and got like a real on the ground story, and he was showing like how all the racist white people, white trash locals, were blaming all these problems on the Haitian immigrants. And then he was interviewing all the local factories and and talking about the workers, and they were talking about how much they loved the Haitian immigrants because they weren't on loads of antidepressants and Oxycontin and like crazy drugs and stuff, and they would actually come to work and get stuff done, unlike a lot of the white trash locals who are super racist. And this guy filmed them all in all their racist glory, and that was an awesome expose on his part. I don't know if it's Johnny Midnight. No, I don't think that's anyone who knows this dude is Ken Kanakoa the Great. Is that who this guy is? Ohio man. Let's see if this is the guy. But anyways, I want to find out who those people are, who that guy is that does those interviews, because yeah, he's great, man. He looks like Jesse Michaels, but he's not him. So if anyone knows his name, Agent R, Agent J, dude. I'm not Agent R. Who's Agent R? Ryan Reynolds. Anyways, let's talk. What else is going on with this squirrel? You'll see a number of posts. Oh, look, I'm live. I'm live now. Talking about Kamala reading the Constitution. Oh, imagine if Alex Jones got nominated to be this White House press secretary, aka the head of the Ministry of Truth. Oh, this is just going to be a crazy second term, man. The first term, he just elected all the wrong people. Oh yes. My wife showed me this morning, and I was just in tears laughing. But yeah, here's a message. Cardi B, as you know, was at the awards the other night and promoting the latest celebrity to promote Kamala Harris. And I just thought this was hilarious. So I want to play a quick 1-minute message from Cardi B.
So y'all could keep y'all pussy on WAP. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you bitches got the dap dry ass pussy because y'all pH balance is off. And you wanna know why? It's not because you're born with it. It's because y'all keep fucking these dirty ass niggas. And y'all bitches is shy to tell these niggas that they dick is hot. You gotta tell babe, yo, the dick smell like mustard, my nigga. You wanna throw my pH balance off. Y'all bitches be fucking these little dirty ass niggas. Y'all be sucking they dick and shit. And y'all be gagging on it. Y'all think y'all gagging on it because the dick is big. But no, bitch, it's because it stinks. Another thing is, right, why your pH balance is thrown off, because y'all bitches need to fucking brush your teeth before you suck dick. Y'all eating barbecue ribs the whole day, bacon, egg, and cheese. Then you suck your nigga dick, and right after, he directly put it inside your pussy. Now you got bacon, egg, and cheese grease inside your pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm only giving y'all this advice because I love you. If you don't want to take advice, all right then, bitch. Roll the dice and keep walking around with that dehydrated pussy. Like I said, I love y'all. And
Oh, wait. Oh, God.
And this is for y'all to keep the WAP. This video so y'all can keep y'all pussy on WAP. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you bitches got the dap dry ass pussy because y'all pH balance is off. And you wanna know why? It's not because you're born with it. It's because y'all keep fucking these dirty ass niggas. And y'all bitches is shy to tell these niggas that they dick is hot.
Yeah, so sorry. I had it on really low, man. Sorry about that. It was on super, super low. Anyways, yeah, Cardi B was so bad at the apparently the teleprompter wasn't working, and so someone actually gave her a cell phone, and she ended up reading the speech off of a cell phone. This is a video of that.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
She couldn't have anything intelligent to say, and she could do it. The teleprompter was not working.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life. My whole life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? I'm gonna make sure. Thank you.
Oh, and that's the speech y'all heard. Wow, that was pretty bad. And Brittany's still doing dance and knife videos. Crazy. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she read the rest of the speech off of a cell phone. And if you don't know who Cardi B is, She is the latest to, she's the latest celebrity to endorse Kamala Harris, and she is a rap, queen, a Puerto Rican rap queen from New York City, who's a stripper that used to rob and rob guys for their money. There's a whole movie about it. About robbing, guys for their money and setting up these rings and stuff. So yeah, here's the speech that they threw for her real quick on a phone. I guess that woman probably wrote that speech on it real quick and gave it to her.
I did not have faith on any candidates until she joined the race and said the things that I wanted to hear, that I want to see next in this country. All right? I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me. I wasn't gonna vote this year. I wasn't. But Kamala Harris joining the race, she changed my mind completely. I did not have faith on any candidate.
Yeah, where did this come from a second ago when she couldn't figure out any lines and stuff? So she was just given this. This is normally what they read on a teleprompter. This is what you don't see, is they just read it off a teleprompter and it looks more authentic, But I'm so glad this was exposed. It was great, man. The squirrels was the final straw, man. This one sent the revolution into a full blown spiral, man. I don't know if you've seen all the funny memes. But we're also arguing over whether this is a real picture or not. I think it's a real picture of like a real Woody cowboy hat that he put on the squirrel. It's like the same size as like one of those big Woody dolls. So I don't know. What do you guys think? And look up Peanut the Squirrel. And I want to show some of the memes off because these are great Peanut the Squirrel memes. And I encourage you all to make your own using the Grok prompts. A lot of, let me just see, Peanut the Squirrel AI. I don't know if that's it. Yeah, so there's a ton of these AI photos with Peanut the Squirrel holding American flags, all the Peanut the Squirrels with MAGA hats on, and Elon and Trump. There's I'm live. Yeah, there's people doing the videos, making the squirrel videos. Kim Camel is coming for the guns, and they're coming for your squirrels. They're gonna. So let's look up Kamala with the Second Amendment now. So we did the Kamala with the free speech, right? Kamala regulate free speech, right? We saw how she wants to regulate free speech.
Privileges, and it should be taken down. And the bomb said, you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop.
No, it doesn't.
He has lost.
Anyone who says that has to stop is hiding the truth from you, and they're trying to shut it down. And that's the worst. So the First Amendment's protected by the Second Amendment. So Second Amendment. Kamala's a gun grabber. She wants those guns, and she's She is coming for them.
He has lost his privileges, and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that. I support buybacks, and I think that, look, we have 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America, and we have 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America. And assault weapons have been designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly. They are weapons of war, and there is no place for them on a civil society, on the streets of a civil society. And it's something I'm so passionate about and so looking forward to being president to address. We've got to deal with this.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
Second Amendment?
The Second Amendment, listen, we're going to have to do it the right way. There's no question about that. But we don't have any, we have to get these guns off the street. But I also, I have faith in the American people to know that, that we want to comply with our laws, and that I know that to be true.
Look what happened in the countries where only the government had the guns. We need guns on the street, bitch. You don't have guns on the street. You don't have a solid defense. They're scared. They are scared to death. They want to take away the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. And she's going to do it, man. And you people are just going to vote him into office because you hate Donald Trump and he didn't do what you wanted him to do the first time around. And I know, I hate him too. And he didn't do the stuff that I wanted him to do the first time around. But at least he's got some better picks this time around. He's already talked about how he's going to do it. He needed 4 years to figure out, what the hell was really going on in there, because he was just so new to the office and the whole political landscape and the scene. He just didn't know. I think he still doesn't know a lot, but RFK knows a shitload. And, I wanted RFK for president when they excluded him from the Democratic early conventions and the debates and all that stuff. I knew they were going to do the same thing they did to Ron Paul and all the other candidates who should have been president over the years. And they shut him down, and he wasn't going to win, and he dropped out of the race. And when he endorsed Trump, that was it, man. I just, even though I don't think in voting, maybe doesn't matter. And I wonder about the whole Epstein connections and everything. The squirrel revolution may be it. I don't know. I'm predicting that there's going to be riots this election. I'm just predicting it right now, because no matter which way it goes, you're going to have, this is the most politically polarized election in history. There's so much resting on this. There's so much argumentative. There's already been people screaming in babies' faces at the pre-rallies and all that kind of stuff. And just everything we've seen going on. They are already preparing for it at the Capitol for the January 6th swearing in. They're expecting another January 6th type event down at the Capitol. They're expecting people just to rise up. I mean, people are just so pissed at these judges that aren't going after the big problems. They're not going after real cases. The DA said that he wants to go after. We have the DAs investigating Trump for these comments about Liz Cheney that he allegedly, they're saying, oh, he said he's going to shoot Liz Cheney. He's encouraging people to shoot Liz Cheney in the face, right? So let's find the Trump Liz Cheney comments. Right? Did you hear this one? And Kamala was lying about that too.
And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter. But his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face. They're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. But she's a stupid person. And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter. But
this is great. Tucker Carlson is not someone I don't completely trust. He should have just been on the right side with a lot of stuff way earlier on, and he wasn't. He did the right thing by leaving Fox, and I think he should have done that a long time ago. And there's still stuff that he should cover that he doesn't. And this latest thing about him saying that the poltergeist came and put scratches on his back, it's got the skeptics like Green Street and everyone saying, "Oh, you sleep with your dogs in the bed. Are you sure it wasn't the dog that scratched your back?" You can be in a deep sleep and something like that. But this whole thing of poltergeist, coming in and giving you physical scratches on your body, that's kind of just really suspicious stuff. And I'm just suspecting in October, like we didn't see an October surprise, really. I mean, kind of a couple little things that they tried with it was mostly just they tried to label him they tried to call him Hitler. Then they tried to say that he's, they have a DA is going to investigate him. There was an actual DA that said she's investigating Donald Trump. I think it was I forget which DA it was, but she said she's investigating Donald Trump for these comments. Can you believe that we have the justice system in America coming and killing squirrels, confiscating squirrels and investigating Donald Trump for sorry, they're investigating Donald Trump. They cut my stream for a second, man. I swear I did not click back. It just backed out. I want to share this. There we go. Why are they not investigating Liz Cheney's father for 9/11? Who are these DAs that they want to make fake political things about their investigations and investigate fake stuff? She's a war hawk. Her dad's a war hawk. They committed war crimes against America. They lied about WMDs. They killed multiple people, and they're the top suspects for 9/11. Now that the dust has settled 20 years later, and people are no longer, adverse to the idea of conspiracy theories because of COVID-19 and what was, demonstrated over the last 4 years since the COVID scam. People are wide awake. Yes, Liz Cheney is a terrible, terrible person. And yeah, this was my Halloween costume too, man. I did, but yes, no, I'm definitely not an android robot replacement clone agent. Definitely not. Yes. So the 9/11 conspiracy stuff, you have to look at John Gold. John Gold is one of the big experts in that. But Dick Cheney was head of COG, Continuity of Government Program think tanks in the 1980s, which held these disaster scenario planning think tanks. So Dick Cheney was literally the guy who was in charge of planning for 9/11 and predict, basically like government disasters and thinking up things just like 9/11. That was his job, was to think up events like 9/11. So the guy was in charge on 9/11. He worked in Building 7 of the World Trade Center. Did you know? So I don't, Solomon Smith Barney was a bank, is the number one bank inside of World Trade Center Building 7. It owned 85% of the occupancy inside that building. And Dick Cheney worked for the Foreign Policy Advisory Board for Solomon Smith Barney, right alongside Donald Rumsfeld. So I don't know where I lost you on that. I hope you're following me now and where I'm going with all this. Larry Silverstein, of course, profited like $5.5 billion off the towers going down on 9/11. The insurance company that paid out that policy without contest was AIG, of course, which has deep, deep, long ties to the CIA with a man named Cornelius Vanderstar. Vanderstar. right? And Cornelius van der Star, the whole history of AIG as a CIA operation in China during World War II, because everything that requires, anytime you do infrastructure, like expensive stuff like research facilities and military and other stuff, it needs insurance, you know? So the insurance companies are always the ones who have all the info on and best intel on where all the real operational intelligence is and, you know, where stuff is, because they know what the insurance policies are. They have access to all that. It's all in the insurance policies. So AIG, of course, big history with the CIA, has that big insurance policy at the World Trade Center. Maurice Greenberg's son, Jeffrey Greenberg, of course, works inside the World Trade Center at Marsh & McLennan, alongside L. Paul Bremer. And L. Paul Bremer is the guy who misses work on 9/11 to show up on MSNBC and give us the first announcement of the official story. So you look up L. Paul Bremer 9/11. I don't know if I'm not seeing it here, but I have that clip. I've posted it a few times. But yeah, L. Paul Bremer on 9/11 was on MSNBC, and he's the first guy to point the finger at Osama bin Laden, believe it or not. And yeah, so Dick Cheney gave a shoot down order. Pilots didn't listen to him because he wasn't part of the military chain of command, even though he gave it after everything was said and done. Yeah, so Dick Cheney knew that he could set up 9/11. These guys were all tied together with back in the Ford administration on these continuity of government program, you know, deep state think tanks that thought up 9/11 and all this other stuff, right? Yeah, so Bremer ended up being the Iraq occupation governor and being the guy that led the Iraqi invasion. So you go into all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of evidence that 9/11 was in fact, you know, a state conspiracy and needs to be investigated and thoroughly exposed. Also, the JFK assassination, we've talked about all that. Yeah, it goes back to Operation Northwoods, right? Operation Northwoods was the 9/11 of the 1960s. 1961 was that, and then Robert McNamara is, of course, the epitome of what we mean by deep state when we talk about deep state. Let's bring up the file on Robert McNamara. I'll just bring up his Wikipedia page so that we can peruse. Robert McNamara, okay, it was under President Kennedy and Johnson, right, wrote this plan to invade Cuba by hijacking these planes and then blowing them up and blaming it on Cuba and saying that a bunch of college kids were on board, making up fake names and fake people that died. So you get people all riled up and wanting to invade Cuba. Instead, they did this Bay of Pigs invasion. They tried everything to do an invasion of Cuba and get into Cuba. Same kind of things that they tried to get into all these other countries and stuff. And but Robert McNamara is super interesting because he went from Secretary of Defense, which is the top head of the entire military, right? So talk about the pyramid structure, right? The top of the military. He went to the World Bank, top of the World Bank, right? So the top of banking and finance in the world. And then he went to the top of Ford Motor Company. He was also worked as the CEO of Ford Motor Company. So industry. So you have military industrial complex and banking. And that is the military industrial complex that Eisenhower, you know, warned us about. And this was the start of the Cold War and all that stuff, the massive expansion of this military industrial complex, which, you know, we're suffering the consequences of it today. We have trillions of dollars in debt. bases all over the world. We've made enemies with most of the world and enemies within ourselves. Turned our entire society into basically a prison planet society. If 1 in 35 people in America, 1 in 35 men, I believe, has been incarcerated in their lifetime. 1 in 130 or some odd people are currently in prison. We have the highest number of people in prison of any country in the world. We imprison more people than any country. We are the top, prisoner. We are the top police state, and prison state. Courts, and what the courts have done in America is just is astonishing. That it's just astonishing that people have not. It took a squirrel. It took Peanut the squirrel to wake people up to how bad. And they're not even fully woken up. This is going to be, I guarantee, this is just a squirrel. This is a stupid squirrel thing, and I mean, it's not stupid. I mean, they killed these people's freaking pet. It's not stupid. It's horrifying, and I hope that it really. We need more people in jail. We need the right people in jail, okay? And that's the people that did 9/11. The people that did, we need like people like Paul Bremer, people like Dick Cheney, people like Liz Cheney. Those are the people that need to be in jail. People like Kamala Harris. People like that need to be in jail. In fact, I think that people who are DAs and judges should have to be arrested and prosecuted. They should have to go to jail. They should be arrested and have to serve a week in jail in the middle of their most important week too, so that everything in their life is just, all their plans are ruined, and they have to really experience like what it is like before they sentence people and send people to go to jail, to know what it does, and how it's just, what does it solve? That's the government solution. All these government solutions to our problems. It just so the government solution to this problem of this guy having a pet that that this bitch was complaining about because the squirrel had more Instagram followers than her, right? So she complains, and the court, the government response is to go there, confiscate the pet, and kill the pet. Okay, that's the government response. Is that the right response? What's the government response to most everything? The government? We have people who are addicts who are suffering. A lot of people get prescribed painkillers and then turn to heroin and other stuff. And then you get caught with the drugs. And then when they go to court, they now are facing jail time instead of treatment, and it's I just don't get it, man. They're just turning people into gang. They're creating gangs because, one, you're locking up all the people together. It's nothing but gangs that form inside that type of society that we've created. So we've generated all these gangs. We've made the drug illegality has created this whole drug game because they know that once you're sent to prison, you're really hard to find a job when you get out, because people will know you have a criminal record, and it just follows you around, and people will follow you around and ruin your life over it too. So you end up having no other choice but to really deal drugs. And of course, all the drugs are brought into this country by the CIA. We've known that for decades now, since the 1990s. And so this girl is deleted all her profiles and has disappeared. She's from Longview, Texas. Longview, Texas is where apparently Monica Kiesler is from. I hope she's in hiding for her own safety. There are a lot of people angry about this squirrel. I think that this is going to amplify the hate in this nation for the government and for the system. And I'm predicting, some really crazy. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of the 5th of November stuff, Guy Fawkes stuff, you know. Oh, say the internet, internet after they found out what happened. This was my favorite thread because so many people were creating these memes, you know. This is where I made this one with the AI. And then there were a bunch of other ones, yeah, with Harambe, of course, you know, and then the come and take it, you know, and then all the Trump and MAGA memes, you know, going after the Democrats in New York that you know, people like DAs like and court people like Kamala Harris, who's, so, you know, have just the best solutions for all of us, just the best government solutions and policies for, you know, it's what we got, man. This is America today, and we're in a fight for our lives. We're gonna lose the freedom of speech, and we're gonna lose the Second Amendment. And yeah, there's all kinds of people like posted the tank guy that, you know, went nuts. The Keanu Reeves, John Wick, right? Yeah. It's time to mobilize. Oh, this is great. Hey, $300. What? Electrical engineering. That's awesome, dude. I'm so happy. That's great, man. I totally appreciate that. You know what? By the way, people, if you want to send me some cash, I have, you can go to alienscientist.com, right? I don't know, see my site, but I have a donate button here now, and you can use this donate button with, I do PayPal. And I'm going to put some, I'm going to have a page up here soon with some Bitcoin links if people want to, you know, send me some Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of that stuff. So I'll have a page up on alienscientist.com soon. And I'm putting a store together too. So I'm trying to sell some of these, if you guys want, I got these 3D printed crystals in the background. And I can show you them. Oh yeah. So these are the 3D printed crystals. Check out those. And that will support me too. So you can get they're $100, which is, you know, that covers the cost of me printing the crystal and the fixing the 3D printer and shipping it out to you and mailing it and the packaging and everything. You get this nice official Alien Scientists quasi crystal display thing, which is a great conversation piece. It's pretty fragile. I've dropped a few and they've broken and they get banged up and stuff, but they're surprisingly strong. But as long as you keep it as like a desk thing and don't give it to children, I think you'll be all right. But yeah, I'm selling those for $100 a piece as a way to support the channel and also get like a cool token from the shop. So you can check that out on the alienscientist.com shop. And I don't know if you want to order one just to see if it's working. I'd like to see, because I just set this up and it goes through I think Stripe and whatnot. So if someone wants to donate that way, you'll get if someone wants to give me $100, like this gentleman here, you can get a free quasi crystal along with it. And dude, $300 is awesome. So that answered my prayers. And yeah, I will definitely send you a quasi crystal if you want one. That would be awesome. Dude, you're so kind. Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely send him one. Yeah, email me, dude, if you want Starscream. Just send me an email or send me a contact form through the site, and you know, send me tell me a mailing address. I'll send you one. No, these are not shitty, dude. They're pretty cool, but it's not the cost of a 3D print. It's not like you're buying a 3D print. It's the cost of supporting the channel and having an awesome 3D print that you won't get anywhere else. Because I doubt the dude who made it will, will give you access to the files like you did for me, man. Anyways, freedom of speech. Yeah, you can't libel people. Yeah, so Dick Cheney did 9/11, and let him sue me for that comment, because I'll ask, why did Dick Cheney? Let's look up Dick Cheney testifies to the 9/11 Commission. So this is the official investigation that was done into 9/11 by the government, and let's look up, what Dick Cheney did. Oh, is there any video of it or transcript? No, there isn't. They met behind closed doors with the commission leaders. They didn't allow them to take notes or make recordings, and they insisted that they be interviewed together and not separately. Okay. So yeah, sue me, and that's the investigation that was done into them. And tell me that there was any more investigation done to them and their involvement in 9/11. And they won't. I can say it all I want, and it's not libel, because it's goddamn the truth. George Tenet. Oh, you want to know George Tenet's role in 9/11? Okay. So let's talk about George Tenet for a minute, because George Tenet's been involved in a lot of interesting stuff, from SAIC, which was deeply involved in 9/11, to a company. He now works for a company that makes metamaterials over in the UK, a big defense contractor working on like top secret metamaterials stuff. But let's give me 1 second. It's hard to find this information now, but I'll look it up. Oh, okay. Tenet. Yes. All right. So after becoming, CIA director in 97, Tenet did what Louis Freeh had done for his appointment as FBI director. He began to cultivate close personal relationships with the rulers of Saudi Arabia. Like Freeh, Tenet grew especially close to Prince Bandar, the Saudi ambassador to the United States. Bandar and Tenet often met at Bandar's home near Washington, yet Tenet did not share information from those meetings with his own offices who were handling the Saudi issues at the agency. The CIA's Saudi specialists only learned about Tenet's dealings with the Saudi authorities inadvertently through their Saudi contacts. So he's meeting secretly with Bandar, who's basically the guy that was revealed in the 28 redacted pages from the 9/11 Commission as being the guy who financed 9/11. So, yeah, he's meeting privately with all that. There's an unusual relationship with both George Tenet, who's the head of the CIA at the time, and Louis Freeh, who was head of the FBI at the time, who had these deep Saudi ties. Louis Freeh, head of the FBI on 9/11, is now actually Prince Bandar's attorney, believe it or not. Yeah, so he's the lawyer for the guy who financed the 9/11 terrorists. The head of the FBI, we're talking about, Louis Freeh. Go look it up. This private network included disgruntled CIA officers who had been fired by President Carter, as well as the group known as the Safari Club and the Bank of Credit and Commerce International. So BCCI network was super, super important because it's tied to the Iran-Contra scandal. It's tied to the drug money laundering, which was done through the BCCI for the CIA and their activities. So the Safari Club resulted from an agreement between Saudi Arabia intelligence chief Kamal Adham, Anwar Sadat of Egypt, and the Shah of Iran, and French intelligence director Alexandre de Marenches. The BCCI network grew with the blessings of DCI George H.W. Bush through the guidance of the Safari Club, which needed a network of banks to help fund the proxy operations, including off-the-books operations required by the CIA. This private network was utilized for the arming of the Mujahideen, which was the precursor of Al-Qaeda. So the Mujahideen didn't officially start until 1980 under the year Operation Cyclone, right? And that operation relied heavily on Pakistani ISI and intermediary funds and weapons distribution, military training, and financial support of these Mujahideen groups, which they were, telling the American public, we're training these people to fight the Afghans, to fight an Afghan war against the Russians. So a proxy war, kind of like what we're doing in Ukraine against Russia, right? So that was back in the 80s. We were doing that. So this exists that there's a rogue agency within the CIA doing this kind of stuff, like a CIA within the CIA. And that George Tenet's leadership of the CIA, which failed miserably to detect and prevent the 9/11 attacks, the failure might make more sense in light of British Foreign Secretary Robin Cook's claim that Al Qaeda was not originally a terrorist group, but a database of operatives used by the CIA. In any case, it was almost as if Tenet wanted Al Qaeda to not only remain viable, but to be seen as an ever-looming threat. For example, in February 1998, Al-Qaeda made its second fatwa, meaning its declaration of holy war against the United States and its allies, including the signatures of Osama bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri, head of the jihad group in Egypt. What did George Tenet do in response? Well, according to Michael Schuer, the agency's bin Laden unit was ordered disbanded in April 1998, much to the chagrin of the head of that unit, who was well, I don't know who the head of the CIA's bin Laden unit is, but at the same time that the CIA disbanded the CIA's bin Laden unit, the FBI also dismantled their bin Laden unit, and John O'Neill, who was head of the FBI's bin Laden unit, went to work at the World Trade Center, where he was later killed and died in the attacks. So he would have been the world's expert on Osama bin Laden and would have been the guy to testify that they threw them off the case, they disbanded the units, and they did everything they could to get this database of operatives in the country, and then set up this attack, and then fund these people while they were here, and then they pulled this all off. The entire like Patsy operation and what they went through to bring these people here was all CIA, and it was all handled under George Tenet. In fact, George Tenet is connected to the whole Saudi embassy in Jeddah, right? Where in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, let me find the Michael Springman thing, right? You can find this on digwithin.net, which is Kevin Ryan's site. And I'm sure John Gold's probably got some good stuff on this too, huh? Yeah, Alex Station as well. Thank you for that, John Gold. Let me find what I was looking for here. I wanted to look up. Oh yeah. Let's talk. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that later. Let me find this. Michael Springman. Yeah. No. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna share this info with you on how they got the terrorists to the United States and how the test.
Michael Springman is here at DC Bureau to share his employment experience at the State Department from 1987 to 1989. Springman issued visas in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. According to Springman, he soon found out that most Americans at the consulate were actually with the CIA, not the State Department. Springman says his boss, the American Consul General Jay Frears, demanded that he grant visas for people who wouldn't normally qualify. Visa candidates are supposed to be able to show motivation to return to their home country.
And I had been part of a program to issue visas under questionable circumstances to a variety of people who had no ties either to their own country or to Saudi Arabia. It was really a program to recruit and train terrorists to come to the United States for training and then be sent back to Afghanistan for use in the war against the then Soviet Union. And part of the mix was Osama bin Laden, who was then working for the CIA as an asset to recruit people from all over the Middle East and North Africa and South Asia. People coming to me like Jay Freres, Henry Ensher, the political officer, supposedly, and others saying, well, it's your decision, of course, Mike, but, we've got this guy who's a good contact and we really need a visa for him. And you can refuse it if you want. Well, after a couple of months of this, it was issue the visa or else. Why did you deny this guy a visa? What is wrong with you? Don't you understand what's going on here? But by and large, these were folks that, like the King's Secretary's barber, who were in the country for a couple of months, wanted to go to the United States. Or two Pakistanis who were going to a trade show in the United States, but couldn't name the trade show or the city where it was located. Other people I refused, aside from the odd nurse and whatever, who were Chinese and Japanese and Filipino who wanted to come to the United States and get a job the minute they got off the airplane. By and large, the people had low-level jobs. They were, clerks in a grocery store. They worked at a gas station. They couldn't explain what they were doing here, meaning in Saudi Arabia. They had no real reason for going to the United States. An Afghan, I remember one time, he wanted to go to New York and visit his money. And I said, that's no reason for going to the United States. I didn't know what brand of Islam they practiced, but figuring that they came from Saudi Arabia, which is dominated by the Wahhabi sect. The Wahhabis, it's pretty much like the Puritans of 17th century Britain. That they didn't hold drinking, dancing, gambling, anything else. So, well, what is it, Jean? What's going on? She says, well, Jay Freres just likes to give candy to babies. Freres had been recruited or part of the CIA when he would have been assigned to Kabul, Afghanistan. And I thought it was very strange that Freres was a driving force behind this visas program that was so peculiar. I learned that I was a minority in the consulate. There were only 3 people that I knew of, including myself, that were truly State Department Foreign Service officers or employees of the State Department. The rest, they work for the CIA, they work for the National Security Agency. Once, Justice Stevens issued a visa to a Sudanese who was a refugee from the Sudan in Saudi Arabia and was unemployed in Saudi Arabia. And Karen Sasahara, Henry Ensher's successor, who I'm pretty sure worked for the agency, said, well, we need him. And I said, well, why? He can't explain why he's going to America. And if he's unemployed here, what's going to bring him back? He has no job. Well, we need him. And I kept refusing and refusing. So Justice Stevens issued the visa. And I saw him in the corridor in the main building. And I said, Justice, what was the reason for giving this guy the visa? He goes, national security. I got to the point where people would come to the window with a stack of passports from the company they work for and say, well, look, we want these visas. And I said, well, I don't know. It depends on, their qualifications and so on. Well, you can issue the visa now or later on when Jay Freres tells you to. What's it going to be? I got a notice in the mail saying that my appointment at the State Department was being terminated because I just didn't measure up. And I talked to the people, Travis Moran, who said, well, I had a personality conflict with the Consul General. And the Inspector General's office couldn't be bothered either. I went to the Government Accounting Office, which is now the Government Accountability Office, and they had an office at State, and they couldn't be bothered.
Oh, muted. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that Joe Rogan podcasts has interviewed Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, the vice president. So far, Kamala has, she wanted only on her terms. There was some, discrepancies about that. And of course, Tim Walz, we know who that guy's wouldn't stand a chance. But all the interviews that Kamala has done are so superficial and so super fake. She has a bunch of celebrities who are promoting her. A lot of these celebrities that are promoting Kamala are very questionable with the Diddy connections as well. I wanted to point that out. There's a lot of, where's the meme? I think I posted it on here. It's got to be under the media somewhere here. But no, it's not showing up all my memes. And where is the Kamala Harris? I can't even find it. It's so crazy. Let's not talk about that. I want to talk about issues, not people, and all these stupid celebrities that are, caught up in this Hollywood pedo business that are supporting this candidate. And I want to talk about some of the latest things. So the science, as you guys know, this relates to some science because we had one of the litigants from this fluoride case is important, right? So RFK has posted a couple things about this fluoride business, and he said that once he becomes if Trump gets in, he's going to put RFK in charge, and RFK is going to go after the people who are in charge of putting fluoride in our water, right? So fluoride is somewhat good for your teeth. It helps prevent cavities, and there's studies that have been done on this when they found out years ago. But putting waste products from industrial processes, this aluminum fluoride, which we buy we get it cheap, waste product, and we dump it in the water supply, and it's not the best way to treat your teeth directly because it has other adverse health effects on the body. It's why you don't swallow toothpaste. Toothpaste is a much higher concentration than your drinking water of fluoride, but the fluoride's not good for you. And there's a whole site on this. If you guys want to check that out, it's called fluoridelawsuit.com. You guys can go check this out. And this young lady right here in the front of the group is a good friend of mine named Brenda, and she was one of our guests on the podcast. YouTube.com. Go to youtube.com/alien scientist. One word. You'll find my channel, and you can go here to live videos and this one with the fluoride.
Agrees with NRC that it is apparent that fluorides have the ability to interfere with the functions of the brain and the body by direct and indirect means.
Yes, CDC in connection with the Intergovernmental Work Group.
Permanent damage, brain, Alzheimer's, dementia.
Next paragraph begins, fluorides also increase the production of free radicals in the brain through several different biological pathways. These changes have a bearing on the possibility that fluorides act to increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
And CDC agrees with that finding of the toxicologic literature.
Yes.
And you see the next section on this page is titled Anatomical Changes in the Brain.
Yes.
And it begins, Studies of rats exposed to sodium fluoride or aluminum fluoride have reported distortion in cells in the outer and inner layers of the neocortex. Neuronal deformations were also found in the hippocampus and to a smaller extent in the...
All right, this is crazy. You can go watch this, right? I did a video interview with Brenda, who was part of the team of litigants on this legislation to try to get fluoride out of the drinking water. You know, there's no reason to add this crap to our water. And we have all these cases of Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff. And people wonder why the heck, you know, there's these problems when people are drinking the tap water. You know, it's really bad for you. It's got tons of this neurotoxin in it. It's causing brain damage, permanent brain damage. You heard it. These are the medical studies. It's all backed by science. It's all the studies you can find and research on fluoridelawsuit.com to, you know, read about all of it and get into the deep science of it if you're interested in that. But this stuff needs to get taken out of our water supply. And RFK can fix this, dude. He's on Team Trump. He is not on Team Kamala. Kamala's on Team kick this down the pipe and don't cover it in the media and ban the media that is covering it. That's what Team Kamala is on. It is not good for any of us if we can't even. This took us this long to figure out that, hey, we're poisoning people. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we couldn't possibly be poisoning people. That would make us liable. Tell them we're not poisoning people. Tell them we're not poisoning people. I'll pay you this much to tell them we're not poisoning people. Listen, we'll give you your own doctor. You'll have free medical coverage as part of this. And, you know, but it's our doctor, and our doctor is going to tell them this and going to tell them that. And this is how we'll keep it covered up for years. And this is what's been going on in America. You can go look this up. I watched an awesome chick flick. Guys, if you ever meet a good, smart girl and you want to impress her and throw on a movie, Brockman. Oh, what's it? The freaking video. Sorry. Brockovich. Erin Brockovich. That's her name. Erin Brockovich. Sorry. So if you can't remember it, just think Erin Brockovich. I'm sure if you typed in Erin Brockovich, you'd find it. But this is the real Erin Brockovich, and she worked for this law firm and was investigating PG&E energy company, which had one of their plants was producing a lot of this chromium. And they were telling all the people that it was chromium-3, and it was, you know, not bad for anyone. It was just, you know, metal that they used for chrome and these linings and stuff. And it turns out it was chromium-6, which is hexavalent chromium. And this is based on a true story. And Julia Roberts plays the hot lawyer bitch that goes and interviews the whole town and basically learns about all these people in their lives and how they're being poisoned by this company, this big, you know, company in the neighborhood, and how people didn't want to come forward and didn't want to believe. The people were fighting them and didn't want to believe it or admit it at first. I mean, this is a great movie to watch to understand what's going on. So if you got a date, man, rent it, throw it on. Erin Brockovich. I was like pinned to my seat throughout this video. It really, really hit home because they talked about one of the things they mentioned was Love Canal, DuPont, Love Canal disaster. Yeah, look up Love Canal disaster, right? This was poisoning people. The guy, you know, these big agencies and then the government lying about it and helping and then, you know, they resold the land to all these poor people, and they have built all these homes on it and didn't tell them. Schools and stuff all over. Yeah, they had to shut it all down and fence off the whole area and say nobody can go in here and stuff. Yeah, hexavalent chromium, bad stuff. So who's exposed? pigments and spray coatings, and when you do welding on or hot work on, you know, spray painted, you know, surfaces and stuff. And you know, some of those spray have chrome in them and too. So I don't know if spray paints, certain spray paints do. They must have the hexavalent chromium. It's not good for you. Right? It's not like super toxic poisonous, like won't just kill you outright, but it will give you chronic lymphoma, you know, a lot of other problems in your organs, your kidneys, liver, skin, eyes, respiratory system, cancers, all that kind of stuff. It's not good, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's big shit now, huh? Really? She is. She's still around kicking, huh? Yeah, because she's like, she gets really into it and stuff. Yeah, I know. That's an easy one to remember, right? So Erin Brockovich and her Love Canal. That'll help you remember. Anyways, yeah, look this up. This was crazy stuff. It was a movie based on a true story, and I didn't even know that. But yeah, go check into it. That movie's excellent.
Agrees with NRC.
It goes with what's going on right now with this whole fluoride in the water thing. We need to get this out of the water. And there's actually people online saying that no, fluoride's good for you. Why would you want to take it out for the drinking water? Everyone's teeth's gonna fall out and you're all gonna look like hillbillies like this. And they're trying to make fun of people for wanting to take fluoride out of the water. I mean, this is like, oh, you don't want to be poisoned? You don't want to have brain damage and slow IQ and low memory retention and information retention? Yeah, throwback movie, bro. Erin Brockovich. Say it correctly, attuned flux. What movie isn't based on a true story? Shrek. There's a lot of them, actually. Shrek 2. By the way, I had seen the best Shrek 2 costume on Halloween this year. But that's another story. Yeah, so guys, if you're not subscribed to Alien Scientists, you should. Please subscribe, hit the like button, smash the like button, and leave a comment as well. What are you guys thoughts on the whole election process? I just want to hear a crowd thing. I know I probably turned off most of the Democrats and Kamala supporters with all the talk that I've had so far, but you know, if there's any, I do like to hear other voices and other opinions here. You know, I come from a Democratic state. I'm right here in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. It's the heart of demo hell and blue country. Out here, you know, on the other side is California, of course, and all that red sandwich in the middle. Yeah, I've been independent. I voted third party most of the elections. I voted actually Green Party. I voted for a black woman president twice, Cynthia McKinney. If you know who Cynthia McKinney is, Cynthia McKinney. She is a congresswoman from Georgia, and she was one of the few people that had the balls to stand up to the whole 9/11 thing.
On it.
And she ran for the Green Party president twice. I voted for her.
In general, we spend about $20 billion in the Department on Information Technology Systems. The accounting systems are part of that. I can get you the exact number for the record.
Mr. Secretary, I watched President Bush deliver a moving speech at the United Nations in September 2003, in which he mentioned the crisis of the sex trade. The president called for the punishment of those involved in this horrible business. But at the very moment of that speech, Diane Moore was exposed for having been involved in the buying and selling of young women and children. While all of this was going on, DynCorp kept the Pentagon contract to administer the smallpox and anthrax vaccines and is now working on a plague vaccine through the Joint Vaccine Acquisition Program. Mr. Secretary, is it policy of the U.S. government to reward companies that traffic in women and little girls? That's my first question. My second question, Mr. Secretary, according to the Comptroller General of the United States, there are serious financial management problems at the Pentagon, to which Mr. Cooper alluded. Fiscal year 1999, 2.3 trillion missing. Fiscal year 2000, 1.1 trillion missing. And DOD is the number one reason why the government can't balance its checkbook. The Pentagon has claimed year after year that the reason it can't account for the money is because its computers don't communicate with each other. My second question, Mr. Secretary, is who has the contracts today to make those systems communicate with each other? How long have they had those contracts? And how much have the taxpayers paid for them? Finally, Mr. Secretary, after the last hearing, I thought that my office was promised a written response to my question regarding the 4 war games on September 11th. I have not yet received that response, but would like for you to respond to the questions that I've put to you today. And then I do expect the written response to my previous question, hopefully by the end of the week.
Thank you, Representative. First, the answer to your first question is no, absolutely not. The policy of the United States government is clear, unambiguous, and opposed to the activities that you described. The second question.
Well, how do you explain the fact that DynCorp and its successor companies have received and continue to receive government contracts?
I would have to go and find the facts, but there are laws and rules and regulations with respect to government contracts. And there are times that corporations do things they should not do, in which case they tend to be suspended for some period. There are times then that under the laws and the rules and regulations passed by the Congress and implemented by the executive branch, that corporations can get off of out of the penalty box, if you will, and be permitted to engage in contracts with the government. They're not generally not barred in perpetuity.
This company was never in the penalty box. If you could proceed to my second question, please.
The second question, I've forgotten what the second question was.
I think Ms. Jonas knows it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. McKinney. I appreciate the question. I appreciate your interest in our department's financial condition, and we are working very hard on that program. I've just come back recently.
That $2.3 trillion that was missing, and all of those poor souls that were working in the Pentagon trying to track it down. You know, after the day before 9/11, we announced that, and then the very next day they all got killed. Ah, man. Yeah, Rumsfeld's dodging, bro. Rumsfeld worked in Building 7 for Solomon Smith Barney, the largest tenant inside of World Trade Center, Building 7. And Rumsfeld sat on the Foreign Policy Advisory Board for Solomon Smith Barney, alongside Dick Cheney. Believe it or not, how convenient. And they both worked on the Continuity of Government program, which held these disaster scenario planning think tanks, which were the topic, of course, of the X-Files episode on 9/11. So look up 9/11 X-Files or the Lone Gunman episode. You want to watch the whole thing. I have a shortened version on my YouTube channel. If you go to Alien Scientist on YouTube and you search for the Lone Gunman or 9/11 X-Files, you can find that video, which is quite crazy and remarkable. Dick Cheney, yes, that is Liz Cheney's father. He was vice president in the Bush administration for 2 terms. And their first term was right when 9/11 happened. And the buildings that, everything about all this is crazy. People are waking up. I know they know that they don't have long if they don't have free control over free speech and the guns and the awakening and the what's happening in the United States and how fed up and angry people are. This is the most polarized election in history, and the fact that these warmongers want to take control. They want to keep these endless wars going. We don't have enough money to give to the people who are suffering in South Carolina that got their homes and everything ruined. But we have tons of money to go and send to these foreign countries for these wars. Which, where does that money go? Is it even getting there? Is it being laundered through back doors and a bunch of people connected with the government just getting rich? Is it? What is really going on with all of it? And all this stuff coming out in Hollywood with all the celebs going down. And then there's controversy about that, because, Cynthia McKinney was grilling Rumsfeld and these political elites talking about the child sex trafficking in conjunction with DynCorp and all these massive government conspiracies with the sex trafficking industry. And now, we're connecting that with shows that were just appearing on television during the time, like, that 70s show where Danny Masterson is now in prison for rape. And Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher is, of course, under investigation for all of his ties to all that and the whole thing that came out with his wife's divorcing him. Mila Kunis is divorcing. She announced 9 days ago that she thinks Ashton murdered his girlfriend in 2001. And there's a lot of controversy going on with all that. These celebrities are all coming out, of course, to endorse, Kamala. I don't know about. I think Ashton may have deleted his Facebook and stuff, but a lot of these. Where's that? The celebrities endorsing Kamala Harris. I'll find this now. Oh, by the way, we'll come back to that. A picture of all the P. Diddy people connected with P. Diddy who are endorsing Kamala. This is a cool tool, guys. We can make all kinds of stuff. So I want to show you about Grok prompting and image generation. You go to Grok, which comes as part of X. It's free, just one of the things on the right, on the left. We can do a Men in Black coordinate. So tell it to generate an image of the Men in Black coordinating off an area of Lower Manhattan. No, let's say Queens. And an apartment building burning, right? So generate an image of the Men in Black coordinating off an area of Queens from a crashed alien spacecraft and an apartment building burning. Look at that. Look at that. It generated an image. We got the Men in Black there. They got, guns. They're they got this area secured, and they got a crashed alien spacecraft with the building burning in the back. Perfect. See, look at this. So anything you want to make, you guys can generate. And oh yeah, where's the alien spacecraft? Oh, I don't really see it. it just yeah, I don't see the crashed alien spacecraft. No, it's not paying. You don't pay nothing, dude. It comes right on X. It's free on X. It's just beta on it, version on X. So I say a crashed flying saucer style alien spacecraft. Which took out an apartment building, a burning apartment building, and is laying in the street. All right, let's try a different prompt, a little bit more specific. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we got this. There's the Men in Black with the saucer in the middle of the road. See, this is an awesome tool, guys, and it's free on X, and that's another just reason to get on X and follow Alien Underbar Scientist, and share my posts because they're funny and cool and educational and clever. And yeah, Grok is super fun, and it's free, which is awesome. So guys, if you're not using AI, I saw a poll recently where these people have just said they, 70% of people or more said they never used AI. They said, "Oh, I don't know. I just never got into it or used it." Well, it's so easy, dude. You just go to Grok and type this stuff in, and you literally just, when you need an image for a video now, like I just go to Grok. This is so awesome because like I used to struggle to put images together for videos, but now I can just tell Grok what to say. I'm going to say generate an image of Dick Cheney standing, sitting at a DEF CON, sitting at a conference table with a DEF CON control station behind them with a map of the world on the screen, and seated next to a gray alien general with a pile of files that say UFO and classified on them. Boom. Generate an image of Dick Cheney sitting at a conference table with a DEF CON control station behind them with a map of the world on the screen, and seated next to a gray alien general with a pile of files that say UFO and classified on them. It's just on the desk. Pretty good. It's kind of like Dick Cheney, but not quite, man. But yeah, all you need is some Photoshop to someone to touch that up, But no, this is Grok, dude. It's on X. So if you're on Twitter or X, x.com, you just go to Grok. Yeah, Grok. It's on X. X.com, guys. This is what I'm using to make all this stuff. So give me some ideas for prompts. Come on, I'm reading the comments, guys. Tell me what you want me to make. Hey. Well, I got some food here, guys, and I want to go eat, but I wanted to share all this with you and encourage you to share the story about the squirrel. And yeah, check out RFK. He's the guy we need in charge, and there's so many people that are scared of him, and they're all the wrong people, and all the bad people that don't want him to get in are saying, "What the heck? Let's get rid of Grok. I mean, let's get rid of RFK and not let him in." I want to show you guys one funny thing before I end the show. About we talked a lot about 9/11, talked a lot about airplanes. We talked a lot about squirrels and pet squirrels and the government's war on squirrels. So I just wanted to show this quick video for you all while I go grab my food. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Plane, you let go of the controls and it'll automatically level itself and fly straight. Hi, Ryan, Hobby Wars. I built this experimental aircraft to try to figure out ways to teach people ways to fly model aircraft. It operates with a buddy box system, 2 transmitters, one for a student, one for an instructor. It has a very sophisticated electronic leveling system built in, so if you think you're going to crash the plane, you let go of the controls and it'll automatically level itself and fly straight. It has a camera built in here to get a rear view documentation of the flight. But what's unique about it, it has controls in here, manual controls. You have a little lever stick here, just like in a full-scale airplane that people fly in. So the student could operate these controls, the elevator and ailerons, and see how they move to make the plane move the way you want it to, and see how it's just like operating the radio-controlled transmitter. And you have little rudder pedals in the bottom here, operate the rudder back there, and a little throttle lever to regulate the power on the motor. So it looks like all we have to do now is take it out for a test flight.
Unless you're going to jump in that plane yourself, you may need your transmitter.
Oh yeah, I must have left it in my truck here. Here, let's take a time out.
No. Get out. Hey, Ron! Ron, the squirrel's in the plane.
What?
The squirrel, it's taken off in the plane.
Hey! It's going down. Oh, we had a lucky landing. I think everything's okay. Squirrels.
I think it's laughing at you.
Hey, I didn't make it in time. Anyway, I'm glad you liked that. He was definitely not a real squirrel in the plane, and he was definitely remote control and a taxidermy squirrel in the plane. And by the way, if you ever guys want a good laugh, look up bad taxidermy. Yeah, terrible taxidermy. It's a good laugh. Sorry, you have to go do chores for the wife. Yeah, well, she doesn't know I'm live. I have to go take care of stuff. But I'm here for a little bit longer. Anyways, catching my breath. Yeah. These fake animals are almost as, fake and unbelievable as Kamala Harris. Yeah, crap taxidermy. This makes a great book. I actually I bought this one, and I bought this one, Much Ado About Stuffing, just as a gift for some Christmas presents for some friends. That's a good coffee table critic. So I'm glad you guys like the squirrel guy stealing the plane. Guess he's got a couple of them. I don't know if this is his squirrel or he trains the squirrel by just like putting nuts or something inside the these crafts, but this guy Hobby Wars, please don't copyright strike me for using your video. I'm just trying to promote your channel and get you some more. Well, he's already got tons. He's got millions of views with these videos of the squirrel stealing all kinds of stuff. But yeah, hilarious. Thank you for that video, and letting people know where they can find that. No, I just ran like a whole bunch of groceries up and down the stairs real fast. So anyways, this is a giant RC. Rather loud and annoying. That's kind of cool. Well, it's this guy. I've seen these videos. I've seen that video before. Pretty sure, but I didn't know it was all this one guy doing that. That's pretty wild. Yeah, the squirrel doing the plane is funny, hilarious. So let's do Grok. X.com, and then go to this Grok tab. Let's do generate an image of a gray squirrel running away from Lady Justice. And I'll see if that works. Yeah. Nope. An image of Lady Justice with a squirrel in her hand. There we go. Pretty good though, huh? Let's do it. Oh, I want to see if it knows what the TR3B is. That's a great idea. Yes. Let's see. Well, we got to train Grok on the TR3B. Generate an image of a TR3B. No, that's not the TR3B. The TR3B is a triangular craft with 3 smaller red lights on the near the outside tips, and a large central accelerator, which glows bluish white. Emanating downward. The craft is metallic and has vents on the sides. All right, let's tell it to generate an image of a triangular craft which has U.S. Air Force and TR-3B printed on the side. All right, now this will make a TR-3B. This is the prompt I had to use. That looks pretty good. This was the prompt. What do you think? I don't know. Not quite. It doesn't know what a TR-3B is yet. Of a, yeah. The craft is metallic and is photographed on side. I want to see if it will put it sideways. No, it can't do the. Didn't get it. It doesn't quite know how to do it, guys. Anyways, That's it for today, man. That's the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great Sunday, and viva la squirrel. Take it easy, guys.